Good morning, friends. Today I want to talk to you about a life-changing principle that has the power to take you from where you are to where you're meant to be. It's simple, but it's profound. Focus on improving yourself. You see, we live in a world where it's easy to look around and measure ourselves by someone else's success. But let me remind you, God didn't create you to be like anyone else. He created you as a masterpiece, unique and full of potential. The only person you're called to compete with is the person you were yesterday. First, it all starts with self-reflection. Take a moment each day to look inward. Ask yourself, what am I doing well? And where can I do better? Don't focus on the negatives. Look at the opportunities for growth. When you face yourself honestly, you lay the foundation for real, lasting change. Second, stop comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel. Social media and society will have you believing that you're behind, but hear me out, you're not behind. You're on your own timeline. God has a specific path for you, and it's not meant to look like anyone else's. So instead of comparing, start celebrating. Improvement isn't about massive leaps overnight. It's about the small, steady steps you take every day. Maybe it's reading for 15 minutes in the morning, learning a new skill, or even just choosing to speak kindly to yourself. These small actions, compounded over time, lead to transformation. Now let's talk about the power of your mindset. The Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Your thoughts are powerful. When you focus on what's possible instead of what's wrong, you'll begin to see doors open that you never thought possible. Don't let negativity take root in your mind. Choose to believe in yourself and your God-given potential. And when challenges come, and they will, don't see them as obstacles. See them as opportunities. Every difficulty you face is preparing you for something greater. Maybe you didn't get the promotion or a relationship didn't work out. But remember, a setback is just a setup for a comeback. God is always working behind the scenes, even when it doesn't feel like it. Finally, don't wait until you've arrived to celebrate. Celebrate every little victory along the way. Did you take a step out of your comfort zone? That's progress. Did you overcome a bad habit? That's growth. Life isn't about perfection, it's about progression. So friends, I encourage you, focus on improving yourself. You're not finished yet. God isn't done with you. Every day is another opportunity to grow, to learn, to become better than you were yesterday. And when you do this, you'll not only elevate your life, you'll inspire others to do the same. Let's commit to this journey of self-improvement. Together, let's become all that God created us to be. Amen? Thank you. Improvement begins with self-reflection, a powerful tool for personal growth. When you take the time to pause, step back, and truly examine yourself, you unlock the ability to understand who you are and where you're headed. Self-reflection isn't about being overly critical or focusing on your flaws. It's about looking at yourself with honesty and compassion. It's about recognizing the areas in your life that are thriving and identifying the areas where growth is possible. Think of it as standing in front of a mirror. The mirror doesn't lie. It shows you the truth of what's there. But here's the beauty. Once you see the truth, you have the power to change it. The same applies to your inner self. When you take an honest inventory of your habits, attitudes, and choices, you gain clarity about what's working and what's holding you back. This clarity is the foundation of self-improvement. The process of self-reflection requires intentionality. It's not something you can do on the go or while multitasking. It's a deliberate act of slowing down and asking yourself meaningful questions. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? Am I living in alignment with my values and goals? These questions help you to dig deeper and uncover the areas where growth is waiting to happen. Self-reflection also allows you to identify patterns in your life. Maybe you notice that certain situations consistently trigger stress or frustration. Perhaps you realize that some habits are no longer serving you. When you see these patterns, you can take intentional steps to break free from them and replace them with new, healthier habits. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Each small adjustment you make moves you closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. Another key aspect of self-reflection is gratitude. While it's important to identify areas for growth, it's equally essential to celebrate what's already good in your life. When you reflect on your strengths, your successes, and the positive impact you've had on others, you build confidence and momentum. Gratitude keeps you balanced, reminding you that while there's always room for improvement, there's also so much to be thankful for. Sometimes self-reflection reveals uncomfortable truths. You might see areas where you've fallen short or made mistakes. But don't let this discourage you. These moments of discomfort are opportunities for growth. They're like the refining process of gold, removing impurities to reveal something valuable and beautiful underneath. Approach these moments with grace and self-compassion. Remember, everyone makes mistakes, but the willingness to learn from them is what sets you apart. Self-reflection isn't a one-time activity. It's a lifelong practice. As you grow and evolve, so will the questions you ask yourself and the insights you uncover. Make it a habit to carve out time regularly to sit quietly with your thoughts. Journal, meditate, or simply take a walk in nature. Whatever helps you connect with your inner self. When you commit to this practice, you'll find that self-reflection becomes a source of strength and guidance, helping you navigate life's challenges and continue growing into the best version of yourself. Comparison is one of the most subtle yet powerful thieves of joy. It's easy to look around and see what others have accomplished, whether it's on social media, in your workplace, or within your circle of friends. When you measure your worth by someone else's success, you set yourself up for feelings of inadequacy, frustration, and even envy. The truth is, you're not supposed to follow someone else's timeline or live someone else's journey. You are uniquely designed with a purpose and path that is entirely your own. When you compare yourself to others, you risk losing sight of the blessings in your own life. It's like standing in your own garden, full of budding flowers and ripe fruit, but constantly peeking over the fence at someone else's yard. You miss the beauty of what's growing right in front of you. Every one of us is in a different season of life. Someone else's harvest might look abundant now, but you don't know the struggles, sacrifices, or challenges they've faced to get there. Similarly, your own seeds might be sprouting beneath the surface, hidden from view, but they're growing nonetheless. Comparison often blinds us to our own progress. Instead of celebrating how far we've come, we focus on how far we still need to go. We forget that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. The key to breaking free from comparison is learning to focus on your own journey. Celebrate your own milestones, even if they seem small compared to someone else's. Remember, it's not about how fast you're moving, it's about staying on the path that's meant for you. Another thing to remember is that comparison is often based on incomplete information. What you see on the surface rarely tells the whole story. Social media, for instance, tends to showcase the highlights of people's lives, their best moments, biggest achievements, and happiest times. But behind those perfect photos and exciting updates, there are untold stories of struggles, failures, and hard work. Comparing yourself to someone's curated highlights is not only unfair to you, but also unrealistic. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on being inspired by them. If you see someone achieving something you aspire to, let it motivate you rather than discourage you. Ask yourself, what can I learn from their journey? Use their success as a reminder that good things are possible for you too. There's room for everyone to succeed, and someone else's achievements don't diminish your potential. Most importantly, trust the timing of your own life. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. What's meant for you will not pass you by. When you shift your focus from comparison to self-improvement, you'll find more joy, peace, and fulfillment. You'll be able to appreciate your own progress and stay grounded in the knowledge that your path is uniquely yours. By letting go of comparison, you create space to grow into the best version of yourself. Growth doesn't come from massive leaps that happen overnight. It comes from the small, consistent habits you cultivate every single day. These daily actions, though they might seem insignificant at first, have the power to transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. The key is to focus on steady, intentional progress rather than quick fixes or dramatic changes. This approach ensures that your growth is sustainable and deeply rooted. Often, people feel overwhelmed when they think about self-improvement because they believe they need to overhaul their entire lives at once. But the truth is, transformation begins with the smallest of steps. It might mean waking up 15 minutes earlier to meditate, choosing to read one chapter of a book instead of scrolling on your phone, or simply drinking more water throughout the day. These actions may seem minor, but when done consistently, they compound over time. Each small step builds upon the last, creating a ripple effect that leads to significant progress. The beauty of focusing on daily habits is that it removes the pressure of achieving perfection. Instead of aiming to be flawless, you simply aim to be consistent. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. You don't expect it to grow into a tall tree overnight. You water it a little every day, give it sunlight, and trust the process. In the same way, your habits are like seeds. With patience and dedication, they'll grow into something extraordinary. One of the most powerful aspects of cultivating daily habits is how they shape your identity. When you commit to small, positive actions, you start to see yourself differently. For example, if you make it a habit to exercise regularly, even if it's just a short walk each day, you begin to see yourself as someone who values their health. This shift in identity reinforces your commitment to the habit, making it easier to stick with it over time. Another benefit of focusing on small, consistent habits is that it reduces the likelihood of burnout. When you try to take on too much at once, it's easy to become discouraged or exhausted. But when you break your goals down into manageable steps, you set yourself up for success. Each small win builds momentum, giving you the confidence and motivation to keep going. It's also important to recognize that progress isn't always linear. There will be days when it feels like you're not moving forward, but that's part of the process. Growth is often happening beneath the surface in ways you can't immediately see. Trust that your consistent efforts are making a difference, even if the results aren't visible yet. By focusing on daily habits, you shift your mindset from one of instant gratification to one of long-term fulfillment. You stop chasing quick results and start building a foundation for lasting success. Remember, greatness isn't achieved in a single moment. It's built through the small, intentional choices you make every day. So, start today. Take one small step and then another. Over time, those steps will lead you to the life you've always envisioned.